You have learned that there are various stages which are there insofar as preparation of trial balance is concerned. So you know that the first stage is the recording of the transaction, and this recording is done in the journal through the journal entries. Once the recording has been done, then there is posting which is done for these entries into the ledger. Okay, and thereafter you balance the ledger account. Okay, and whatever are the balances, these are basically posted and we make a trial balance out of it. Trial balance, as we know, contains various items which could have either a debit balance or a credit balance, right? And ultimately we add on these two sides, right? So you may have an item X which has a balance of 1000, you have Y which may have a balance of 500, and then you will have a Z which will have a balance of 1500. The end result is the total of debit side should meet up the total of credit side. But many times this may actually not happen, and these two totals may differ. So instead of being 1400 and 1500, it could very well be that this total is 1600. In that case, what we need to find out is what are the errors. The golden rule is, or the general rule is, that these two totals should tie up with each other. But if these are not, then the only possibility is that there is some error. And these error could be when you are recording, chances are less, okay, or once you have done the recording of journal entries, when you post these entries into the ledger, there could be a problem. Or when you are doing the balancing, so let's say for example on the debit side you have 100, on the credit side you have 200. So instead of posting a credit balance of 100, you post a debit balance of 100, right? So we need to locate what are these errors which have caused a difference between these two sides. Now, one thing which you need to necessarily know is that even when both the debit and credit sides are equal, okay, in a trial balance, this does not mean that everything has been recorded, posted and balanced properly. There may be some errors in that also, but generally, if these two sides tally, what we assume is that these postings have been done properly. And if not, then the chances are there are some errors. And what are these errors? Now, when we talk about the errors, what are the various kinds of errors which may be there? I'll just tell you about the classification of these errors. In terms of the details, we will see them a little later. The first one is the error of omission. In this, what happens is that some or maybe more transactions may have been omitted. Omitted means missed out, may not have been recorded, either completely or partially. So you have just forgotten to record some of the transactions in the books of account. The second could be an error of commission. Now this is not the kind of commission which you provide to an agent. These errors of commission are a little different, and there could be several reasons for it. You could have posted a number wrongly, you could have recorded a number wrongly, okay, recording could be wrong, totaling could be wrong, okay, and stuff like that. We'll see again these in detail in a separate video where I will take them independently. The next one is the error of principle. Now, like the name itself suggests, what you do in these cases is you do not follow the accounting principle properly. Accounting principles are not followed properly. right? Simple, just the name itself will tell you what exactly does it mean. And the last one of the errors, these are your compensating error. What do you mean by compensating error? What does the word compensating means? It means you are trying to refill for something which has happened. And exactly that is what it does in a compensating error. So there is one error, let's call it error A, where there is a short debit of rupees 100. And similarly, you have error B, where then we may have an excess debit of 100. What this means is, taken together, the total effect is 0. One error has compensated for the other. Right? So that is what you need to know about the rectification of errors, the need which it arises, and what are the kind of errors that you may have. We are going to look at each one of these types of errors in a detailed video where I am going to give you the examples associated with them. For now, thank you for being with us today.